delighted to be here.
Well, thank you for doing this. There are so many people that are going to be inspired by your story because you had a corporate job, and between the time you had a corporate job and today, you have 10x'd your income, 10x your income. And I'm going to get to how you did that in a moment. But share with me, what is it that you did before in the corporation you worked for?
So, John, I was in human resources. I was working with a lot of people, and it was a company that you would think, it's a big global organization, you would think that I would have been happy and really doing well, but I wasn't, John. I was in a very, very difficult space. And so this is why I'm actually wanting to share my story, because at that point, I just needed to get out. Yeah.
And so, were you unhappy? Were you unhappy with your job? Were you not? Were you stuck? Were you unfulfilled? What was it that caused you to feel like I just have to get out and wanted a change?
Okay. So what had happened is that I'd started to work. I was stuck, hugely mentally stuck in a mindset that where I wasn't good enough. I was, it's almost like I'd call them mind traps, the prover, the pleaser. I couldn't see potential, opportunity, positivity. I was just in this, what I called a hellhole, a pit of absolute depression, and all I could see around me were potentially sort of very over-ambitious, Oscar award-winning narcissistic behavior. And perhaps it wasn't really there, but this is what I could feel. And I just couldn't get out. I tried everything within that time to do things, and I just couldn't. Very stuck.
Now, I know from some of the information that my team gave me, since today is the first day you and I are talking, that you were doing some self-medication, maybe taking some happy pills to try and feel better about yourself. And I imagine they worked for a while. When was the point that you said, I must break free and do something different for me?
So yeah, John, I knew on that point, I knew every psychologist, every psychiatrist in the whole of Durban. I was taking anti-anxiety tablets. I was taking depression pills, sleeping tablets, because now I wasn't sleeping. And I was exhausted. I couldn't function. And it impacted a lot, my family, my friends, my health. And there was one part of this entire story that broke it for me, and where I realized there was a problem. I walked out on the balcony. I got a phone call from my husband, and he said, Virginie, how are you? And I said to him, I'm okay. Please, let's not talk about me. Let's talk about you. And he said to me, I'm not having such a great day because my secretary is fighting for her life in ICU. And I paused, and you know what my answer was, John? I said to my husband, my goodness, she's so lucky.
Oh my goodness.
And that's when I knew there was a problem. I would rather be fighting for my life in ICU in hospital than be where I was. And that's when I knew I needed to go and find someone to help me. Yeah.
I love it. And so I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist, even though I work with a lot of them. So what happened? So you were at this low point in your life, and then what happened? How did you even come across my work and NeuroGym and Innercise and all the stuff that we do?
Yeah, I was, as I said before, I was so stuck. I got home that night and I went straight onto the internet and I started downloading everything and anything I could possibly find. And then, of course, I came across your work, and it was a brain-a-thon that I'd been on, and there was something that you said that really resonated with me, and it was this quote: are you interested or committed to your goals and dreams? Because if you are interested, you will do what is convenient. If you are committed, you will do what it takes. And that's actually what anchored me, and I saw this is I deleted everything else off my laptop because there is just so much information out in the wilderness, and if we don't focus and invest our time in one space, we can get lost and overwhelmed. And it's exactly what I did, and I've never looked back. Yeah.
So you watched the Brainathon. I imagine you invested in our Win the Game of Money brain training and coaching program. And once you invested in yourself and in breaking free and turning your life, your reality into your fantasy life right now, what happened when you started to inner size? What happened when you started to upgrade your knowledge and skills, and get our coaching? What happened? Walk me through how you felt, what you did, and what the results were.
Yeah. So, John, the first thing I started to do was all the work that you were doing. So you've got this beautiful platform. It's easy. You go through every single module. I was listening to the meditations. I was looking at the inner sizes and listening to them every single day. Even in the moments where I thought, I don't want to, because I had this routine. I would wake up in the morning and I would start my day with my new money story. And I'd recorded it on my phone. And my new money story is what I started my day with every day. I would do some of the inner sizes in my shower. And then I would go to the gym. And at the gym, I would listen to the inner sizes and the meditation music, information. And that is when I started to notice, even though in the moments where I didn't want to do these things, it was difficult for me, I just did it because that's what I knew I had invested in myself. And the moment that I started pushing through the boundaries of discomfort, I started to see things I didn't realize before. I started to notice things in the wilderness, the decisions I was making, the way I was looking at certain things had completely started to shift and change. And that's when the blinkers, I started to see opportunity. I started to look at what else is possible. Because I was sitting in a toxic mindset of negative language, criticism. I overcame my limiting beliefs, like I was actually good enough. Why had I believed for so long that I wasn't good enough? But I was. And this work helped me to see all of that. Yeah.
So you went from a very dark place to the sun shining on your face and your heart opening up and you seeing your true value and releasing limiting beliefs, but also seeing yourself in a new light, right? As somebody who can achieve her goals and dreams versus all the reasons why you couldn't. And so you left your corporate job, you started a consulting company. Walk me through the success that you're experiencing right now and how that has impacted your life and your families.
So my successes, I'm so excited to share with you, John, that I am now, from where I was, earning absolute pittance. I'm now
Do you mind if I ask how much you were earning? How much were you earning in your dollars?
In my South African rand, I was earning 20,000 rand a month. And now I'm earning anything between 150, 200. I've even earned up to 300,000 rand a month. And there was this constant idea that coaches and in you, Virginie, this is just a hobby. You can't make money out of this. And online businesses, they don't work. Well, I tell you something, John, I just pushed past the fears and all the rejection. And so I became this executive coach. I'm an international mindset facilitator and a coach trainer. And then just a year ago, so exciting, this is a bit new, I was invited to be a non-executive board member to support young entrepreneurs to create their dreams. And so as a result, and all of this is working across the globe, John, across the globe. I work with 43 different countries, from your graduates right through to your CEOs. And it's a stimulating different culture, different currencies. I'm truly so blessed that I was able to get unstuck. And of course, to your second question, it has impacted my life. It's done a 360. So from my finances, as I just shared, I was able to travel a lot more. My children go to private schools now in South Africa. It tends to be important. I've got myself a car. I am chock-a-block in my diary, which means business and money is continuously coming in. My health has done a 360. My relationships, John, my relationships. I used to avoid people's phone calls. I used to turn away invitations to friends. And now it's like a whole new world. Hobbies, I'm at the gym, I make money in my own time. I manage my diary. I'm not told what to do and how to do it. I do it now. And as I'm speaking to you, I'm feeling excited to think, imagine I hadn't taken that step all that time ago. I don't even want to think about what would have happened if I didn't do it.
Well, you said yes to yourself. You said yes to yourself. Congratulations. You step up. You invest in yourself. You take action. And now not only are you enjoying the benefits of that, your family is, and now you're able to help so many others. And for that, I am so proud of you and so happy for you. If there's somebody, this is the final question. If there's somebody, male or female, regardless of age group, I mean, you've been, through our coaching program, you've been through the brain training. I know you still do it. If somebody's sitting on the fence wondering, will this work for me? What would you say to him or her?
The risk of, here's the question I would pose. What is the risk if you don't do it? What is the risk if you don't do it? And if we don't change something, if we don't invest in something, well, are you going to stay in the same place? Are you happy in that same place? And if you can just push past any fear, any boundaries, any reservations and do it, my recommendation is take everything off your laptop and just focus and entrench yourself in these programs, because this particular program has so much to it. You've got your community, you've got the platform, you've got your community of scientists and doctors, that the neuroscience information. Not everyone has the full package. And so that would be my recommendation. What is the risk of staying where you are? I was there, take it.
And what's the cost of staying where you are, right? Versus fulfilling your potential. Virginia, I am so proud of you for
Thank you.
For being on the Brainathon, yes, but for you being at the place in your life where you knew you needed help, and then you said yes to yourself to get the help, and then you took the action, and look at you now, girl. I mean, look at you now, just beaming with positivity and vitality, and you've really taken your reality and turned it into a new fantasy, and I can only imagine, in a good way, where you're going from here. So thank you for being on the Brainathon. For everybody that's watching right now, give Virginie like a big shout out in the chat and let her know how she has inspired you. And Virginie, I'm so happy that you went from being interested to being committed, because that's what it takes. And you did it, and you're doing it.
Thank you very much, John. Thank you. It's been a real pleasure to be here.
Wow, what a joy. You just warmed my heart.
Awesome.
All right, thank you again, Virginie.